Inside Central, Aruba has this concept of extensions, similar to browser extensions. They allow integration with third-party systems to enhance network visibility and policy control. A great example is Microsoft Intune. By connecting to Intune, we can pull in valuable device context, like compliance status or OS version, and use that in NAC policies to assign the right role, grant or deny access, or adjust permissions. Beyond Intune, Central also supports integrations with platforms like VMware Workspace ONE, Splunk, and vCenter. These extensions essentially let you make more dynamic and informed network decisions. When it comes to IoT and legacy devices that can't use 802.1x, Central also supports a MAC address identity store. You can bulk import MAC addresses via CSV and apply them in your policies alongside other context. Setting up these integrations is simple. Just enter the URL, client ID, and secret for the third-party solution. Once connected, Central can use this context to make smarter, real-time decisions. That's essential for Zero Trust and NAC, where a central tenet is that you never just allow or set and forget. Continuous validation matters. An example is if a device falls out of compliance mid-session, Intune can instantly notify Central, policies are re-evaluated on the spot, and access can be adjusted dynamically. No waiting, no polling delays. Let's open the NAC card, and you'll see you're first presented with a monitoring dashboard. It gives a clear snapshot of recent authentications, who's connecting, from where, and through which identity stores. You can filter the view by users or clients, which is typically IoT devices, or guests and visitors, and even see which sites have the most activity. It's a fast, intuitive way to monitor NAC and authentication health at a glance. Moving into the configuration view is where we start building our NAC policies by connecting to identity sources, like Google Workspace, Microsoft Entra ID, or Okta Workforce. You can add multiple identity stores too, which is great for organizations with complex structures that have evolved from mergers or acquisitions, or where there is multiple tenants. Policies can then be tailored per identity source. For example, allowing access only if a user is part of a specific Entra ID tenant. Setup here is straightforward using standard fields like client ID, secrets, and tenant ID, with user guides available to walk you through the process. Once your identity sources are in place, you can now configure authentication profiles. As an example, here is an EAP-based network for wired users only. You can then select a single or multiple identity stores. When onboarding devices, whether it's a single BYOD use case or an unmanaged corporate device, there is a self-service provisioning URL. If the device isn't managed by Intune or a similar EMM, this URL can be emailed or published on your intranet. As part of this router, Central detects the user's device type and OS and launches a tailored onboarding workflow. Here, I'm on a Mac, and so being guided through setup steps like installing certificates and configuring network settings. This ensures a smooth and secure experience without IT involvement. One final thing to note on authentication is that you can use Central's default certificates or upload your own, ideal if you're leveraging existing endpoint certs or a private PKI. You can also paste in server keys, intermediate CRs, and enable OCSP checks to validate certificate status in real time. There's also the option to reject authentications if OCSP fails, giving you tighter control and compliance with security policies. So we've configured our authentication servers and profiles. Now we move into authorization policies. Remember, from a security perspective, authentication is binary. You either pass or fail. But just having a valid certificate or MAC address isn't enough to determine how much access someone should get. That's where authorization policies come in. These let you define additional conditions that determine the role or access applied to a specific device. For example, a policy might require EAP-TLS authentication, membership in the corporate user group, and, through the Intune extension, we can get confirmation that a device is corporate-owned and compliant. Depending on what you select, the system dynamically shows available attributes like Intune tags, namely compliant, BYOD, or supervised, or similar tags from Jamf and Workspace ONE. Some are built in, others can be user-defined, like profiling a device as an IoT device for AV, or an industrial IoT sensor. These devices are then put into a particular role, and that role dictates the access policies they have, what VLANs they're allowed to access, and what QoS profiles they may have. Ultimately, you can layer multiple conditions to tailor access, making it as simple or complicated as your business needs. Let's talk about an IoT example. Here we can create a policy for devices tagged as audio/video, but also go further by checking the device's behaviour against a baseline. Using telemetry from Central's data lake, the platform can detect if this conference room TV suddenly behaves abnormally. For instance, if it typically sends 500 megabytes daily, but suddenly uploads gigabytes. That's an anomaly that can then trigger a policy action, restrict access, alert admins, or flag it for investigation. This level of behaviour-based policy adds another powerful layer to your access control framework.